There is a tool called Live Paint, which is really cool and dynamic. And it works in conjunction with the blob brush very well, especially when you bring in sketches, trace over them using the blob brush, and then you're ready to color. Now to demonstrate this, I'll quickly just go ahead and use the blob brush to draw out a sketch of something. Let me think here. I think I will draw maybe a very fast kind of a dinosaur. So I'll do like a plesiosaur or something like that. So I'm just going to start with the snout, and I go to the head, and just grab the neck like so. And the blob brush connects automatically. So I'm just going to go ahead and do something like this and add a couple of crazy teeth. Alright, this is kind of like a Simpsons plesiosaur. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put that little neck thing they have there. Add a couple of wrinkles, and I'll just go ahead and close this part of the shape. And I'll add just a couple more teeth. He's got to eat. And I'll add an eye. Just amazing and epic artwork all around, folks. Typically I like to have a sketch before I get started because I get a better result, but I like the pressure of doing things live and spontaneously. Alright, so here's my plesiosaur. I'll add a couple of spots real fast. Alright, this is, wow, horrible. Alright, so here we go. So how do we color this guy? Right? What we have to do when we have a shape drawn with the blob brush is we have to go and use something called Live Paint. Let me give you an example. If I select this guy, right, and I want to fill it in with a color, I can fill it in on the stroke, right? But you'll notice that I'm not really getting a fill on the inside. Now it will work if I draw something very simple. So I can go ahead and just draw something like this, and you'll notice that when I try to put a color in here, let me go ahead and just choose a color here, I'm not really getting a fill color. Well, what I have to do instead is, if I want to fill this guy in, I have to use this tool called the Live Paint Bucket. So let me go ahead and just show you what it does. If I click on something, it's going to tell me first of all to select it. And then I can grab my Live Bucket tool, and when I hover over it, it says click to make a live paint group. Now, this is very interesting. And when you click, by the way, it turns into something different. It now fills with the color you had selected, and it also allows you to work with the little swatches that it has hovering above it. Let me go ahead and tear off my swatches here, and let me show you how this works. If you look at this Live Paint Bucket, you'll see that the swatch in the middle is purple, like this one here. And next to it, to the right, is this color, and to the left is this color. So it's going to give you those three colors that are next to each other. And what I can do to change color very easily and quickly is use the arrow keys on my keyboard. So left arrow, I'm changing the color here and on top of the paint bucket. I could use the up and down arrows to go up and down in the rows. Okay, so I'm going different rows here, and left and right allows me to choose different columns. So when I click, I can fill it in with that color. And I can just use the arrows, and I can kind of stay in the same range. So I'm going to hit up a couple times until I get where I want, or I can click here, I can click here, or click anywhere in the swatches, and the colors will always change above the paint bucket. So I'm going to go to a nice light blue. I'll click inside of the shape, and then I'll go ahead and click on a brown and click in the eye. I can grab a yellowish color, so I'll go to yellow, and I'll double click on it so I get the color wheel. And I'm going to go to a pale yellow for the teeth. And the areas highlight with red. And if that drives you absolutely insane to see that, you can always turn that off in the preferences. Now I can also change colors here. I'll go to green, and I'll go ahead and fill these spots in. And I'll go ahead and do one more thing. I'll go into the eye and make that a little bit of a gray color, so I can actually go over here and choose a nice light gray. I'll move this down, and I'll go to my selection tool and deselect. And that is how you can use the Live Paint Bucket.